Debonair. Okay. If this man had his YouTube channel up, man, I would have been able to tag your channel, bro.
Okay. Of course, man. My bad. I definitely got to get that set up. You know, it's about establishing a direction for the brand,
Yeah.
what I want to represent myself as, and what I want to bring to the people. But no, definitely. I think that just even taking this as a start, this could really be something big. Just one or two conversations. We can eventually get a podcast going, bring other people on. You never know what can happen. So this is just a welcome opportunity I see here.
Man. Yeah, man. No, you was telling me about the updates on Mr. Ime Udaka. we, we,
Of
we can
course.
we can start off there. We can start off there first. Go ahead, man. Talk to these people, man.
Okay. All right. So I won't go too hard on the introductions, but I have been featured on the channel before in some other videos. My name is Travis. The YouTube channel is coming soon. Working with omgitsdev. My channel, Clutch Dodgers, that's eventually going to be getting off the ground. We have our other homies like Gavin or Darth F, who does twitch.tv/KSK Darth. We have our other homie, Keneal. His is twitch.tv/Kenneth Colada. So we do have, some people who are working online. You, Mike, the rest of the homies. So, we've known each other for a while. Me and you personally, we've been friends for years. We did go to the same high school together at one point in time. I did work with you at our previous institution when we were both attending the same college. So, we do have a lot of familiarity. But we really do want to use this as an opportunity to get in on these topics and talk about what's real.
It's
My man
facts.
already the Ime Udoka situation, so we're not gonna dilly dally too long, and we really got to dive in. So just to make sure we set the stage for the people who don't know what's going on because they may have heard it from the news, but we want to make sure that everybody has certain information available when we get started with this. And now I'm gonna start off by all of this is information that is being reported by, Woj on Twitter, other sources. Stephen A. is making comments. Kendrick Perkins is making comments. Is going around everywhere. So these are things that are being alleged. So some of these incidents and occurrences are alleged. We don't have all the facts yet. Things are still building, but I can let you guys know what are some of the facts that we have as of now. Ime Udoka, I believe he is, I could be wrong about the age, but I believe he's 43. He's the current head coach of the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics just went to the NBA Finals last year. I believe they ended up ultimately losing to the Warriors, but they did have a great series. I believe Ime Udoka is taken over after Coach Brad Stevens decided to make his move upstairs, where he is now a part of the basketball operations. I believe Brad Stevens is now the head of basketball operations. And when he was there beforehand, they were still making the playoffs and in contention. The Celtics are currently on their third coach in 3 years. He's a black head coach with all the things that's been going on with Brian Flores. I'm just trying to set the stage of what his role was in the organization. He was the head coach of the team. Ime Udoka is also the husband of Nia Long. That information is confirmed. Some people did say that they were engaged. So if they are engaged, then they're not officially married. But to everyone from outside looking in, they have a serious committed relationship with the intention of marriage and being together long term. They do have 2 children together.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have history. I believe Neil Long is about 51, 52. And again, he's about 43, 44, something like that. I could be a little bit off, but generally, this is just to set the stage. There was a bombshell that was broken by Woj on Twitter 2 days ago, approximately around the afternoon time, maybe sometime around like 2-ish p.m., 3-ish p.m., that Ime Udoka, the head coach, keep in mind he just went to the finals with his team before, so we already know he's a good coach. We
Facts.
report from Woj that he is being suspended for misconduct for the team for 1 year due to a consensual relationship with another member of the organization. That was the first tweet that came out. We didn't get a lot of information. Then that just started spreading like wildfire. Everyone started making assumptions. This information, from what people like Stephen A., Kendrick Perkins have mentioned, this information was released by the Celtics organization. It was given to Woj. If people don't know who Woj is, when I say that name or phrase, that's Adrian Wojnarowski. He is a world-renowned, well-known ESPN analyst. He does mostly NFL, NBA, but he is one of those reporters that whenever you guys tune in on your sports, whenever you watch the NBA games, whenever you go online, they're looking for information from him. He's one of those people. Adam Schefter is one of those people. Adam Schefter, remember, he was the guy that brought to life the issues with the Washington Redskins organization and over those over 60,000 emails of misconduct,
Yeah.
and other, misplaced intentions in the workplace and the Redskins organization that was going on. And the NFL did an investigation. At one point, Congress was going to get involved. So these people, they are in positions in the media to where they have insider knowledge. They talk to owners. They talk to people who represent the team. They talk to players. They meet with them. They have one-on-one interviews. They have connections to these people. So when they give us information, when Adrian Wojnarowski is putting information out there, he has some legitimate sources. So that's why when people say that this information was put out by the Celtics organization, that's what we want to establish. The first statement that was put out was that he was being suspended for a year due to misconduct related to him dating a individual who was on the team. Later on, there was a press conference that was put out. The coach, Brad Stevens, and the owner of the team did speak at the press conference. During that press conference, they addressed a couple of things. They said that I don't want to go too deep into it because then we'll have to break into the actual. I would recommend people go watch that interview if they do need more information, because break it down more as far as what Brad Stevens and I believe his name is Glausbeck, who's the owner. So Brad Stevens was very emotional during the press conference. Him and the owner, they made it very clear a couple of things that were important. One, that what Brad Stevens did was wrong enough for him to be suspended for a year, but he would not be fired at this time, and that a decision would be made later down the line in regards to punishment or what he would need to do in order to get back to the team. He was not given any type of clarification on what he needs to do in order to be allowed to the team. There was no he needs to go to therapy. There was no he needs to attend classes. There was no he needs to, be mindful of working in situations where he's one-on-one with the female. We didn't get any of that information. The owner and the head coach, Brad Stevens, specifically said that they did not want to speak on details regarding the investigation because they wanted to protect the people who were involved in the situation, and that they did not want to put that information out there. What else do we know? There were other people who were leaking things online. There was another tweet that came out from another source that said something along the lines of, not only did Coach Ime Udoka have a consensual relationship with one of the women in the organization, there was a second woman in the organization that we know of as of now who was also in a consensual relationship with Ime Udoka. And allegedly, one of the women who was involved was the wife of the vice president of basketball operations. This is allegedly. I'm not putting this out there as facts, but this is what we know. From what goes there, as far as the alleged people were involved, the wife of the owner, they both work for the team. One was reportedly working in the medical staff or the health staff, and the other individual was working for the team as well. That's another thing that was reported. So we know that everyone involved was within the organization and did have an understanding of who they were working with, what their roles and positions were. These weren't strangers. This is all workplace environment. What else was reported? The two females who allegedly were involved in the incident, who were in a consensual relationship. I want to stress that it was a consensual relationship, because
Please
there are
do.
a lot of people going around talking about he's an abuser and he's a harasser. I spoke to a couple people. The first thing that came out of their mouth when I or someone else mentioned Ime Udoka, abuser or harasser. Let it be clear, they did an investigation that lasted from the end of June until about 2 weeks ago, and it was determined that all parties involved in the situation were consensual. So there was no H words, there was no essays, there was no RN, there was none of that going on. It was all consensual. It was you like me, I like you, we're gonna go out. Oh, hey, what are you doing on Thursday? Let's go out for a drink together. Oh, so just so we know, we want to establish that it was consensual, because this is important. We understand that in the past there have been circumstances where females will come out and say, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me. So we're going to put it out there that it was consent from the jump. One of the women who was involved, from what was said, she deleted all her social medias.
Yeah.
Wiped everything. So she is completely gone. The moment the news broke and two people were mentioned, she wiped everything online. So we have no idea where she went. Maybe she went offline in order to, distance herself from the situation. Maybe she wasn't the actual person and she was being wrongfully accused. All we know is she deleted everything. This is what was reported. The second female, allegedly, her Instagram was privated and all of her photos was removed. So the only people who had access were close friends or people who were originally following her before the incident. These are things that have been allegedly reported. Also, the owner during the press conference said that no one else would be punished except for Brad Stevens. I mean, not Brad Stevens, sorry about that. Except for Coach. He is the only one who would receive punishment, and that there would be no actions or punishments against anyone else in the organization. So, everyone has it aware. We can start by establishing a basis, he had violated conduct.